Good evening, Karina Carvalho with ABC News. The Treasurer has had to repeatedly explain why he's taking $4 billion from a surplus fund, despite official advice warning of the risks. Curtis Pitt won't commit to topping up the scheme if it goes into deficit. State political reporter George Roberts has more.
It was supposed to be the after party.
Oh, for goodness sake, can't you even see this is good news? Come on, give me something.
But the budget sell started more like a hangover.
Treasurer, you've done the wrong thing. You've put a lot of public service and everyone else in jeopardy with that fund.
Well,
decrease your commitment.
The Treasurer's morning spent explaining potential economic headaches to come.
Can I make a point here? Can I please make a point here? We are putting surplus money to work to help benefit our economy.
Documents reveal the government was advised a year ago to only take a maximum of $2 billion from the surplus to keep a buffer protecting the fund. But heading into this year's budget, Treasury asked for advice on riskier propositions of pinching up to $6 billion. It was told a maximum of $5 billion could be taken from the fund at a 28% risk of sending the fund into deficit by mid-2020.
$5 billion, Mr Speaker. What did the government decide? $4 billion. $4 billion to get people back into work.
It had been advised a month earlier taking $4 billion had a 19 to 50% probability risk of the fund going into the red.
On the toss of a coin, on the basis of what this government has done, this fund could go into deficit. Now that is playing Russian roulette with this fund.
The Treasurer's battled to explain how he'd bail that out.
If it did fall below the line, what we would be seeing is a case of getting further advice, updated advice from the actuary, and take his advice at that time.
Legislation guarantees entitlements funded by the scheme, so if it does dive into deficit, the state may have to find billions to top it up. For now, that's a calculated risk, but the government's also had to defend a blowout in public sector spending.
The public service expenditure grew at 6 times the rate of the population growth. This year and next year, it's growing at twice the rate of the population growth.
The Premier says they've been forced to.
We saw the former government slash services and cut staff, and that hurt Queensland.
Two sides to every story. George Roberts, ABC News, Brisbane.